Hey, influencers, jump on socialbluebook.com, socialbluebook.com, socialbluebook.com.
We're not being paid to say that.
Socialbluebook.com. And I'm saying this because it's the equivalent of kellybluebook.com when you buy, sell, and trade a car. It shows you an estimate of how much value you are worth per piece of content you put on the internet. But this also takes a unification of influencers. That means that all of us wheelchair influencers that have big platforms and big followings on big platforms have to band together and say, no more free stuff for free advertising. No more free stuff for no more free advertising. We will not budge until we get a paycheck. And honestly, if you guys want me to be the head of that, I'll happily be the head of that because I will spearhead the shit out of this. And we can.
There hasn't been very many companies who've done free advertising. There hasn't been really any that we've done like free advertising for.
Everything.
We have done some things where we like products have been given to us and we'll do like a video with them.
We've done trades and pro bono deals before. So there's no one. We have not worked for free. We do not work for free. There's always some way that we are profiting off of the content. So I mean, and that's the thing. It's
not necessarily. We're not always profiting off the content, but we're never gonna be like we're never gonna market something for free that we haven't gotten like some sort of
value from. Exactly, benefit or value from.
Like the podcast, we did it for a while for free. Like we weren't doing any sponsorships or anything, but like that. But we weren't like shouting out brands that we liked for no reason.
Here's a great example. I'll holler at HOC right now. These guys are dope. We love them. I, for months, was contacting every manufacturer of wheelchairs ever to do a video about how to get properly fitted for a wheelchair. And no one, and I mean no one, wanted anything to do with me whatsoever. They were like, who is this moron? Who is this idiot? No, there's professionals that know how to get it fitted right, yada, yada, whatever. Like no one was paying a bit of attention to me. Even one of the biggest manufacturers, which, hey, guess what? Not going to give you free advertising by saying your name. They, in no way, shape, or form, wanted to be involved with us. And we're like, cool, fine. So eventually we got in contact with the people at HOC. And the thing was, I was tagging them in our Instagram pictures because of the D's-Locks. I like D's-Locks. I wasn't even in one of their chairs. I was just rocking their D's-Locks. And I liked the product so much that I was just tagging it. They hit me up and were like, hey, we want to get you a chair. You've been doing a really good job like promoting everything to everyone. We want to get you in a chair. And anyone who's bought a chair or has priced one from HOC knows the cost. And it's a good chunk of change. So I was like, cool, I'll do that because actually I need a new chair. And also the deal was, hey, when I get the chair, I'm going to come film a video in your manufacturing studio. And he goes, okay. So I got to do a video and I got a wheelchair, which is worth multiple thousands of dollars. And their return is so good that we're doing more videos with them because they saw the value. And again,
but isn't this just to throw it back though? Isn't that kind of what you were saying not to do earlier? Like, don't take like if the athlete was going to take a free wheelchair,
it's because I was wanting the video. If I didn't want the video, it would have been a different story. But because I was hunting for this video,
Gotcha.
Even if they wouldn't have given me a wheelchair, I would have done it because I would have had access to a manufacturer. I wanted the video more than I wanted anything else.
In the connection.
So
Gotcha. Okay. So I just want to clear that up.
No, so you're right. So again, there's ways to finesse this, but like I've had plenty. There's one clothing company, which they know who they are, who sends out stuff to everyone for free as long as they do dedicated uploads about and reviews about their product, but they do not pay them for the reviews and they do not at all. They just trade for product and their product is worth like pennies. Like their products are maybe worth anywhere between $50 to $200, but they're easily getting $1,000 to $5,000 worth of marketing dollars, which in turn generates sales. It's like, come on, people, from the inside out. If you want, and guess what? You can also do as a company. You can say we hire disabled people. We also help people get off Social Security disability. We help people regain confidence. We help people become more confident. We help people return to life. Like, how is this not a win-win for everyone? Manufacturers, you spend a little bit of money, you make a ton. Influencers get paid a little bit of money.
It's got to happen the right way, though.
Exactly. Influencers get paid a decent amount of money and spread the word to all their community. And then guess what? Their community gets a great product. So the end user wins, the influencer wins, and the company wins. All three people win. Currently, who wins is the company and the end user. Because if the product is good enough, then the end user. You know who gets left out of that conversation? The influencer. The one person who's trying to get back to work. The one person who's trying to find ways to be productive. The one person who's been fired who's had 50 interviews and not been hired. The one person who's been to college and is willing to move anywhere in the entire United States just for a desk job. Someone who's willing to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think the reason why this happens, though, in the broad scale of everything, like with influencers not getting paid like what they should be getting paid, because I think on the very top end, it doesn't really happen because the top end has figured out, like, nah, I know what I'm worth, and I know, like, all the companies clamoring to work with me. I'm not necessarily talking about disabled community. I'm talking about just, like, in general. But then you do have these, because the barrier to entry of being an influencer, especially an Instagram influencer, is so low that people don't really see the like value of like what is actually happening, or like the value of a community and the value of like people that actually look up to you and all that, because all they're seeing is like, oh yeah, well they post a lot of pretty pictures and people follow them. Like,
but you can measure the value on socialbluebook.com.
Exactly.
And also companies verify it. Make sure that you see that screen.
My God.
Verify it.
We know a lot of people that have like fake follower accounts and like call themselves like a curator and a freaking influencer. And it's like, bro, we know they're not influencing anyone. They're getting just as many likes as someone that like you went to high school with.
Yeah.
You know, like
verify.
That's the thing.
Trust but verify.
The biggest,
influencers trust but verify. Companies trust but verify.
And like
always
don't
verify.
Just look at likes. You got to look at the overall like what situation of what's happening.
Ignore all that. Social Blue Book does that for you.
Exactly.
Social Blue Book compiles every bit of data, including fake followers, fake subscribers, fake views. Social Blue Book does it. And that's where, hey, people that are disabled that are looking for a job, YouTube is the real moneymaker. If you go on Social Blue Book, but also YouTube is the hardest one to grow on. If like
for
YouTube is the most difficult, but
there's a reason for that though. Like if a platform is like hardest to grow on, it should be the one that would make the most money.
Exactly, and that's again that's the
YouTube game is hard.
YouTube game ain't easy. We know this firsthand. So it's like one of these things where it's like, if you're going to invest in anything, invest your time in getting good at YouTube. And maybe your secondary one might be Instagram. Pick one other secondary one, but honestly, I say focus on YouTube. And then this is how the companies can also verify that they're hardworking. The companies can verify that they're consistent. Oh, every week they upload. Oh, every week they got a compelling story. Oh, every week they're on their podcast. Oh, every week they're posting on their Instagram. Like that's how you can tell the when someone is working hard for free. It's very simple to be comfortable paying them because You're like, oh, they're working hard for free for themselves. How about I step in and say, hey, listen, I've got this really incredible product that I want to share with your community, and I want to give you the product, but I also want to pay you for sharing this product with everyone. And you can strike up a deal. Also, influencers, do contracts. Also, companies, hey, do contracts. Okay? So everyone needs to get on the same page. There needs to be no vagueness. There needs to be no gray area. And this is another thing that drives me nuts. Disabled people are already seen as lesser than. They're already seen as unprofessional or like weak or like lazy or like there's a lot of negative perception around disabled people and work. And again, you know what business model, corporation, products, companies can help? The ones that serve them directly. The ones that actually are the companies that are helping them get back that good quality of life, that are giving them the cool catheters that help them not get UTIs, that help them get the wheelchair that's lightweight and doesn't ruin their shoulders, that help them with adaptive equipment in other areas of their life. Those are the companies that need to be investing in their users.
Well, I think a way that, like, for example, just from a stimulus way that this could happen is, like, for example, inside of the government, I mean, I'm talking about the United States right now, but, like, for example, in the United States, first of all, we need to abolish or repeal whatever situation happens when if you're disabled and you start making money, you lose all your Social Security stuff. Like, that should not be a thing. That would be a major milestone for the whole community.
I mean, and that's the challenge is there's no incentive to work. Like,
well, also
you can live kind of comfortably on $12,000 a year if you don't do much. Also, if you get food stamps, and also if you have other forms of government assistance and benefits, $1,000 a month when you don't have to pay for your apartment and you don't have to pay for your groceries, kind of cool.
No, it's dope.
What's the incentive to work? None.
Yeah, and
when you do start working, guess what happens? You lose your benefits.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, so it's actually not even an incentive to get back to work. It's a disincentive because you're literally losing by trying to get back to work. So there needs to be something in place that would incentivize people to work, and then also something that could potentially incentivize companies who, it's like this happened with the electric cars. Electric cars were first coming out, so there was an incentive from the government where you get a tax break for however many years you had it. Now that is over because electric cars have come into the mainstream.
Kind of taken over.
Yeah, I mean, there's still challenges with electric cars, but that tax break is no longer available because it came so mainstream that they didn't need to incentivize people to do something good for the environment.
There was a little tax credit or something.
Same thing. Yeah, there was a tax credit, so you could own a Nissan Leaf almost for nothing. So anyways,
free.
Yeah. So anyways, what could happen is if, for example, you are a company that is serving a specific type of person, maybe there could be some sort of tax incentive or an incentive if you were hiring those people specifically and lifting up those communities. Maybe companies could receive some sort of benefit as well, because I think that would stimulate that type of hiring. Because as of right now, they're not getting punished for not hiring.
Nope.
A catheter company's not getting punished for not having a certain amount of wheelchair users, and I don't think they necessarily should be punished.
I like your train of thought a lot. I do.
Because I think that if there was some sort of incentive for those companies to hire the people that they serve and all that, that would be awesome. Another thing that would be great is if there was an incentive to hire ex-convicts or ex-felons or something like that. Because as of right now, there would be no incentive to hire someone with a criminal record.
But there are companies like Dave's Killer Bread, for example,
or Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, or Ben and Jerry's. And those...
That's what I'm saying. But more of those companies should exist, but there's not really much of an incentive besides the karmic value and the feel-good value that you would feel by hiring someone who has maybe had a rough time or whatever. And I don't typically like the idea of... What's the word? Affirmative action. When we need to hire this many black people and this many Asians and this many, blah, 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 because we need to be culturally diverse on paper, But I think it kind of starts from, actually, Ben and Jerry's is a great example, or Dave's Killer Bread. Like you said, they literally go out of their way to hire people that they know need a second chance or whatever. And I think a lot of activism is happening around people of color and things like that right now, but I think that will start to trickle down more and more as we get to be more of a progressive society. And some people I think look at all of that as an attack on the previous way of life because things need to change. But I think that things need to change. Hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode, you can click right here. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can click right here. If you want to watch more clips, we got 2 more right over here.